Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the new podcast series here on B2B. Just in case you stumbled into this, here we introduce you to new podcasts. My name is Kelsey Kors with Sweetfish Media, and this week's podcast is Musicians in Tech. Hundreds of professionals are pursuing music and other creative outlets in their spare time, and this is the podcast that bridges the gap between both worlds. Today, we're going to share with you a quick snippet from an episode. The hosts of the show are Gaetano DiNardi and Jay Alexander, and we are going to get to listen in on their very first episode. If you think you'll find the show valuable after you check out this quick snippet, just search Musicians in Tech in Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast player. Make sure you subscribe, and if you really like it, don't forget to leave a review. Gaetano and Jay want to bring creative inspiration into the tech world and allow people to share their stories. So if you know someone who would be interested in this podcast, please let them know. Okay, here's the snippet from Gaetano and Jay's conversation.
Really what we want to do is a couple of different things. Like we said before, Jay and I can't be the only people doing this. And the most prime example of this I can share with you is, the CEO of Goldman Sachs. The guy is a DJ and he goes and he you would never expect that, right? Goldman Sachs is about as corporate as it gets. Yep. This guy's in Vegas, popping bottles, putting on shows. He's got a big following. I'm like, this is just insane. Like, how are we not getting in on this? So we're looking to, we're looking to get these kinds of people and showcase them to the world because that's a fascinating story. And I know there's more. The other part of it too is we want to bring creative inspiration to the rest of the tech world. If you browse your LinkedIn feed at any given time during the day, it's the same old B2B nonsense, right? It's sales prospecting this, marketing automation that, blah, 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 blah. We're looking to just differentiate ourselves, seeking differentiation and just get away from all that stuff. And we want to bring interesting and unique people to the tech world to share their stories and how they're kind of going about building their brands and their audiences. Because like Jay said too, there's a huge intersect between how musicians and artists and engineers and producers, how they're going about building their personal brand and their network is really no different than how many brands are trying to do it now. And that's just something from my perspective. I know, Jay, you have some other things to share as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're right on point with all those insights. And, I'm based in Silicon Valley. So I'm working at these large tech companies where I'm working with product managers, with engineers, with design folks, many of whom are musicians in their own right. And they're leading bands or they're writing or they're producing, right? And they've got all this passion around their work. And so, again, it goes back to highlighting those opportunities, but also creating community, right? So how can we connect the dots for folks? How can we identify, ways for, highlight people that are doing incredible things with respect to their tech careers, but also creating really incredible art as well? How do we showcase those folks? How do we find them? How do we connect other creatives with them? And that is, again, I think a huge opportunity for us here. So, I don't think that we can overstate just how critical of an opportunity that is, because creatives are always looking to connect with other creatives.
Wow, this podcast is going to be awesome. Gaetano and Jay are going to be fantastic and enthusiastic hosts of the show. Again, just search Musicians in Tech in Apple Podcasts or wherever you do your listening. Subscribe, leave a review if you like it, and don't forget to tell a friend if you think they'd enjoy it. Learning about business professionals who live a double life as tech executives from software companies by day and music creators at night. Wow, this is going to be fun.
I hate it when podcasts incessantly ask their listeners for reviews, but I get why they do it, because reviews are enormously helpful when you're trying to grow a podcast audience. So here's what we decided to do. If you leave a review for B2B Growth in Apple Podcasts and email me a screenshot of the review to james@sweetfishmedia.com, I'll send you a signed copy of my new book, Content-Based Networking, How to Instantly Connect with Anyone You Want to Know. We get a review, you get a free book. We both win.